What up brothers, it's Clipper King returning for what I hope's a pretty brief video today. As I promised, I would do a comparison between the new Age of Ultron Captain America and the Stealth Strike Captain America. I will say I am going to review the full set of the Stealth Strike suit, simply because that's the set I have, and also if I were to straight compare just the Stealth version straight from the box with the Age of Ultron set, there would be things the Age of Ultron set this one wouldn't bring. So obviously if this were just Captain America against Captain America, there'd be no Steve Rogers head sculpt, there'd be no empty mask, and it'd just be a pretty easy comparison, because I would just say the Age of Ultron brings more as a standard set. But like I said, because I was lucky enough to get the full set with the Steve Rogers, I am going to compare it, because that way I can also show you the different Steve Rogers heads and just show you what your money will buy, so to speak. So just to introduce, as I said, this is the new Age of Ultron version. There is now a review of this up on my channel. If you've not seen it, please go and check it out. I cover every point. Really nice piece. And then at this side, you see the Stealth Strike suit from Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. If I move down that, you get a rough idea of the look. I will start off by saying as well, I'm not going to say here which is better or which I would recommend you have. At the end of the day, it's your money, you buy what you want to buy. All I want to show you here is this version brings this and looks like this, and this version brings that and looks like that, and then you can decide. I will say at the moment, if you wanted the Age of Ultron version, your price is going to be £200 plus, because it's fresh, new release stock from Hong Kong, and I've noticed the Stealth version is starting to come down on price, particularly the version without the Steve Rogers. You can get that so under £150 now. With the Steve Rogers, I'm not sure, I'm guessing that's going to be still around 200 to 250, but I've not checked eBay to see if I'm right with that. So I think we'll start with just the all over look of the Captain America versions. Right, so just show them, try and keep them shot together so you get an idea of the height and the scale in general. I will show you first, but then I'll move to the Stealth version and tell you this one has been customized slightly. So the straps on the head sculpt have been painted to make them darker to match the browns on the straps on the body and the belt. I did remove the fat suit underneath this to sort of improve the articulation a little bit, so it will look slimmer, sort of mainly through the ab section. I think that's where the most padding would have been. I think that's it. That's the only modifications I did. So just to show, I think the first thing you would notice of any note would be the style of the suit. The new version, I described it as busier in the review. By that I mean a lot more mixtures of colour, a lot more glitz and glamour on this one, a lot fussier I suppose, where this version is more, if he were doing night missions and he didn't particularly want to be seen, so obviously stealth mode, then this would be the colours he would go for. It is a slightly darker blue, as you can see, very little red on it, only the accented sections down the side of the leg and the side of the rib cage, where this is pretty much pimped out with red all over the outfit. I will say another notable difference, the boots. The Age of Ultron version is it's a deeper tread, as you can see, a lot more, I don't know, robust looking boot. Even the shin guard, this is a lot more fitted, a flatter style boot. So I'm noticing that the Ultron version is slightly taller, not a lot in it, but I would say all in all it is the same body. Obviously, like I said, the Stealth version minus the fat suit underneath. This one also gives the appearance of slightly wider shoulders. I think it's to do with sort of the section on the side here and here, whereas this one is a lot closer to the form of the body, but I would be convinced that the body is the same underneath. Show you again. This time you see the strapping as well, a lot brighter, a lot more eye-catching, I would say. to this version. I will say I know one of the clasps has come off there, but I have got it, so I need to glue that back on. But you see the straps on this one are a lot darker than that. The helmets are pretty much the same sculpt. I'll try and show them you in shot. Obviously the stealth version is darker, and like, remember what I said, I did repaint the straps, but it is just the same sculpt, I would say. Now, I mentioned in the review, the silver accent on the side gives the appearance of the wings. The Age of Ultron version is like that. Stealth version is nearly all dark, sort of two-tone blue. But the sculpt inside, I would say, is identical. Both very nice sculpts, and both really do look like Chris Evans in the mask. Another noticeable point on this, the hands, all the hand sculpts seem a lot bigger than the stealth version hand sculpts. And I will say, this version is a lot harder to switch out the hands and restricts the articulation more than this version. Moving again, see the knee pads, slight difference. Yep. Next thing I'm going to show you is the how the shields connect. Just show you again from the side because I've got them both in shot. I actually do prefer the strapping on the chin strap on the stealth version now it's repainted. I think this one is a little bit too light. It's probably accurate, but I would prefer it a closer brown to the strap over his shoulder. But anyway, show from the side. Just give you an idea of them together. As I said in the new review, the shield now fits with a magnet section, so it's a lot easier to get on and off. It's sort of magnetised at the lower section and on the harness clasp, where this one still uses the old hook section. It works really well, but this was just the advancement that this one we're waiting for. Just because, as you can see, I'm not going to stand, so I've got to be quite careful. Just comes off really easy like that. This one I would have to sort of lift it out, which would be a nightmare to do. Moving down, so you get the hook that would fit in, where on this one it uses the magnet section. So on that, obviously you're going to prefer the magnet section, and like I've said before, looking at the gloves, this one has a magnet in, and then the other part of the shield attaches there. This one, it's just a case that you've got to put the correct hand on, and then you would grab onto that. And while I'm talking shields, I'd just like to show, this is the version, the classic shield I suppose, that comes from the Age of Ultron version. Nicely painted, it is die cast, and then these two versions do come with a stealth set. So you've got a stealth looking shield with no red on it, and then a version of a really battle damage shield, sort of if that version had really been rubbed down. So again, all nice shields. I just wanted to demonstrate that because of the stealth version is a two-figure set, you do also get two shields. I thought that would be worth a mention. I think we'll move on and talk about the Steve Rogers head sculpt. Alright, so let's talk Steve Rogers head sculpt. As I move in, you see the stealth version. I really raved about that when I got it in hand. If you go back and check this review, I do really like it. I do like the head sculpt on both, if I'm honest, and there's not a lot in them. Just a couple of subtle differences. I will say, although that's on the body, I am going to keep the other one loose because it'll be easy for me to keep them both in shot. Pretty much the identical sculpt. The main difference being the Age of Ultron version is looking to his left. The stealth version is straight on. And also, if I show you more so from side, where the stealth version is more a flat brown, you see the Age of Ultron version a sort of gold wash through his hair, giving the appearance of more blonde highlights, so to speak. Not a lot in it. I think either head sculpt you're going to be happy with, because they are really, really well done. But I would think that you're going to want a Captain America, which gives you the option to have him with the mask or without. Like I said, two really nice head sculpts, and I am happy with both. Also, I think we might as well just have a look at the empty helmets. Again, you see, very, very similar. Just move around them. Both slightly weathered. I would say both are the same sculpt. This is the Ultron version, obviously. That's the stealth version. Really nice extras. Again, I've repainted the strap on that one, so it's like I don't know, not as tanned as it is straight out of the box. Like I said, I do prefer it slightly darker. So yep, you would have to have obviously the double set to get the head mask as well with the stealth version. So I'll go on and show you what the total set's included. Right, so I've got everything out that comes with both sets. Just to give you a quick rundown. First things I'll mention, both come with the instruction manuals, as you can see behind them. The Ultron version comes with a new style Marvel stand, really nice touch, grips the feet really well, I do like that. This one though came with the two generic stands, one for each figure, which were a nice touch. It's not that you've got to share the same stand, you do get one for each. Really nice. Looking down on this, you do get the two shields, as I showed, the empty mask, two sets of hand pegs, so one per figure, the little tool for moving the clothing around so you can tuck them in his gloves, the useless cuff thing, like handcuff thing, so you get a lot of hands. Obviously you've got hands for two figures, so yeah, just for the Captain America you've sort of got 2, 4, 6, 7, and then 2 on him, 9, and then you'd have 6 for the Steve Rogers figure. Nice selection of hands. The Age of Ultron version, you got the shield, which is totally clean, no battle damage on it. The head sculpt looking left. The empty mask. The hands, like I said, 2 of which are magnetic for the shield. And then a set of wrist pegs. So obviously you don't need me to tell you, the double set does bring more stuff, although I think as a standalone set the Ultron version covers all the bases. That's why I give it such a nice score in the review. All you're missing obviously is an out and out Steve Rogers. If you can live without that, which I pretty much do because I only display Captain America, then I don't know. I think it's just a straight choice here. Say if you had £200 now, I think your choice is, do you buy the Age of Ultron because it's the newest one and you get that, or I think £200 would get you the twin pack, which would bring you all that. If it was just a straight shootout between the stealth or the Ultron, it would be easy the Ultron version because you're getting the Steve Rogers, the empty mask and so on and so forth, and the addition of the magnetic shield is really, really good. But like I said, that's what you get. I'm not going to say which is better or which I prefer, because the fact of the matter is I'm going to pick which I want to keep, and the other one of these is now for sale, so I don't know what I want to do. But I would say I'd be happy to keep either, and that's the honest truth, because although this is the new one, so everybody hypes normally about the new stuff, I think before we know it we'll be seeing production shots of the Civil War version, and then the price will start falling on this one like it started falling on this one. So bear that in mind. You're never going to have the newest Captain America because there's always going to be one just round the corner. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that little comparison. But for now, it's a Clipper King, and I'm out of here.